Hello everybody, this is a collection tour video of most of my toy collection. We're going to focus on just these three shelves here right now. There's a lot more in here, but first time I recorded this it already went past 30 minutes, so yes, I'm recording this for a second time. I originally used my fancy DSLR camera and it just was very noisy looking, and funny enough my phone looked better, so here we go. So to start off with, here is my mostly vintage Power Rangers shelf, one of them. This is the original Japanese Zyuranger Ultrazord. I completed this last year and took a while and cost quite a bit, but I'm really glad to have it. I just like the stickers on this version a lot more. The colors, it's more accurate to what you actually saw on the show, and they actually use this toy in several episodes, so it's almost like having a replica prop. I really love it. Got a couple of vinyl monsters here. Got a couple hiding back there, but the ones up front are my favorite. We got King Shanks, Bones, a couple Morphers. I've got the full set. These are more accurate with correct labels and Japanese coins. They're a little more gold. Got a couple of the die-cast figures here. I think the Green Ranger is actually a bootleg, but still looks pretty good. And a couple unfinished Morphers and the vinyl T-Rex that only came out in Japan but fits really well with the US monsters. And we got Goldar with his sword that came with the putty for some reason. So, here we go. And let's move down. Here we've got the modern Transformers. Now, this is a collection I had to kind of limit myself on because it just kind of got out of control, and there's just so many Transformers coming out, and I needed to limit myself somehow. So I kind of went down to Season 1, G1, Autobots and Decepticons, and the 86 movie. But I'm not sure if I'll end up keeping all the 86 movie ones. We'll see. So most of these are the most recent, best versions. We've got Siege and some in there, a couple in there, but it's mostly Earthrise and Legacy and Kingdom versions. So there's a couple guys in here that shouldn't be in here, but I just like them. Like, you can't get rid of Cosmos. Bugness, I love the little Pretender type shells they made. The new Dinobots, hopefully we get a swoop. Yep. I've been tempted to let all these go too, but we'll see. Moving down, we've got the Decepticons and a couple stragglers. We've got Exhaust and Crasher back there, and Overlord, but in general it's Season 1. We got the Drone Seeker back there, the rest of the 3 Seekers. Finally we've got all the Insecticons, and I couldn't get rid of these Pretender shells. I just love these little guys. So, yep, and we got some weird stuff over there. So, Autobots and Decepticons, G1, Season 1. And then we move down the 86 movie. This is another one I've been tempted to let go. But they're just so good looking. Got Galvatron and his minions. All the Quintesson stuff back here. All the pastel colors. Got all the Autobots. Junkions. Just love how these guys all look. A couple of these Junkions I think have some upgrade known F parts on them, but and I had to get the Super 7 Unicron in there. Hopefully someday they'll do that G1 Unicron as a HasLab or something, who knows. So 3 shelves of modern Transformers. Used to be a lot more, so I'm glad I've narrowed it down. Now we get down to some of my favorites, Transformers Animated. Back when this came out, I had almost everything. I loved it. I had to let some of them go. Kept a few, and a couple years ago when Derek Wyatt, the guy who worked on the show, designs, passed away, it kind of kicked me in the butt to get these again, and I'm glad I did, because I just really love them, and they get harder and harder to find. Got a couple of rare ones, like BotCon Sideways there, Auto Trooper from BotCon, Unicron.com Allspark accessory set, Samurai Prowl. I love that Wreck-Gar, the Weird Al Wreck-Gar, it's just so perfect. So animated Autobots, and moving down we've got animated Decepticons. Got almost every version of Lockdown there. I think I'm missing the stealth one. Love that leader Megatron. It's just such a fun design, and the sound features and everything. Got a weird little Japanese Lockdown down there. Sound Blaster, recolor of Shockwave. Don't have the barely released Thundercracker that came out in samples, but I do have a BotCon Motormaster there, so love that one. Macho Man face. Oh, only missing a couple. I still need Safeguard and Blitz, Blackout. The Power Wing Optimus. So almost all there. So that's the all Transformers and partially Power Rangers shelf. So moving over, now we're getting into kind of some mix-matched shelves. There was a point where I got rid of a lot of stuff and tried narrowing all of my collection down to just things I had sentimental attachment to, and it was a little difficult, but I tried to. So we've got Kenner RoboCop here, which I grew up with. A couple weird things. You got a Taco Bell, Sewer Urchin, and Darwin, just things I had as kids and really liked. Flabber, who doesn't love Flabber? That PVC Plaza Darth Vader, that's the actual one I've had since the 90s. He's got a Rebel Trooper helmet under his foot, and his helmet comes off. It's a really cool one. The Battlestar Galactica Cylon is a toy I actually had as a kid. My dad watched Battlestar Galactica a lot, so I actually knew what it was. Mine was missing more parts than this one, I believe, but still really like that toy. Barbie probably stands out, but that's one that my ex-wife had, and she passed away a couple of years ago, and I kept that for her. Got a couple of the G1 Transformers I've held on to. I didn't keep a lot, but I kept Megatron and Repugnus and some Battle Beasts. Gundam Wing, I grew up on Toonami, so I just had to have a couple of those. Got some random Microman guys. So, yep. Moving down, we got another kind of a mix-max shelf here. Got a big Toy Biz Venom. Just love the smiling McFarlane type Venom. Got a Ulysses 31 ship there. Couple random things. Got a Australian weird variant of a Changeables shake or a drink cup there. This is most of my Changeables collection. It's my favorite McDonald's toy. Just love those things. They're so durable and solid and well made. A couple other mixes of things here. We got a Trendmaster Zilla and another Trendmaster Zilla. A friend of mine in middle school, high school, we almost set fire to his bedroom trying to make a stop motion movie with that figure there. So pretty attached to those. The Power Rangers Red Ranger 8-inch, that was my very first Power Rangers figure, I believe. My dad and I waited out in front of the local comic book store, waited for them to open early in the morning to get it. That was back when they were very, very, very hard to find. So we had to do that and probably paid too much for it at the time, but they were hard to find. And we got some soft head vintage turtles back there, Roswell alien. Just some weird things I had as a kid, or just things I'm really attached to. That's a Changeables pen here. Yeah, it does say Changeables, so it is Changeables, but I don't know if these were only released in Singapore, or that's where I've seen them, but I really don't know. I can't find anything about these online, really. But there's 4 of them, and they're basically headmasters. They just kind of fold over and have a thing on the back of them that makes it look like they're fries or a burger or whatever. But they're very headmaster looking in size and shape. So it's a unique one. There's not many of those around as far as I know. So moving down, I used to have a lot of Jurassic Park vintage, but it's another one I had to narrow down. But I had to keep this T-Rex. I love this mold. It's just so accurate. It's basically molded off of the Stan Winston maquette. This was one that as a kid my mom got me for Christmas, but I found it hidden in her closet a few days before, and since it was a big open box, I was able to squeeze the belly and play with it for a bit, and then had to pretend to act surprised when I actually got it on Christmas. And then that same day or the next day, I took it over to my friend's house, and his older brother squeezed the belly way too hard and broke the mechanism inside, so it broke pretty quick, but just always loved that toy. This one doesn't work. Had a messed up battery compartment, but maybe someday I'll upgrade it. The Jungle Explorer, another one I just absolutely love. The colors, the features, everything. I love those blood sample missiles. Those are very expensive and hard to find, but one came with this, and the other one I found at a random highway roadside kind of thrift marketplace, and it was just in a box of other junk. And so I've got both the missiles for that and all the parts and everything. The Raptor, I think, is the very first Jurassic Park figure I got. Just love that thing. Colors, the feature, everything about it. And the one figure I remember the most, of course, had to be one of the most rare and expensive to get again now, but I had Dr. Snare. He was from, I believe, the 3rd series of the first movie. They were basically like dinosaur hunters. They were called, oh geez, what is it? Something Raiders, Evil Raiders, I'm not sure. But he's really cool because he's kind of like a Crocodile Dundee looking guy. He's got like striped leather boots and a big trench coat. And if you pull off his shoulder, he's got a big nasty scar underneath. He's basically got dino damage as a person, which is fun. It's a really weird gun. And he came with a baby Carnotaurus, so pretty much the coolest guy you could get. And I also still have all of the trading cards that came with the figures. Somehow, all the stuff I lost as a child, I somehow still held onto that binder. So I know exactly which figures I had because I kept all the cards and they're all in there. So I actually have the card that came with the T-Rex, which is super rare, and I've got Dr. Snare's card. So this doesn't have the right toy in it, but these candy eggs they sold at the time, I've got a lot of memories of those too. We used to go to the Eastgate Theater and see the movie, and I believe that's where I got some of these eggs. Other than that, maybe at gas stations, but they had little rubber dinosaurs in them and candy that tasted really good, and I just remember trying to collect all those. I don't think I ever got all of them, but I love those things. And then they later used the same molds, I think, as game pieces for the board game, which was kind of weird. And then, completely unrelated, next to it, we've got a Kenner Batman Batmobile here. This was the first Batmobile I ever had. I didn't have these figures with it. I think I used the 89 Batman figures in this Batmobile, but you know, I'd watched the 60s show on reruns, and this kind of looked like it, but it had some kind of 80s style, so I just always really liked it. So got that, Bob and Joker here, and some of the McFarlane figure there, and some Hot Wheels, stubby Hot Wheels of the 60s car I just really like for some reason. So that's that shelf. Moving on down, we got Turts. So this is another collection I've had to kind of limit myself on just because I've found so many, and they're just, I can't collect everything, so I've had to kind of narrow this one down to ones that I had as a kid or just really like. So some of these I think are the reissues, but we got also unrelated back there. We've got a Zen Intergalactic Ninja guy, but the movie turtles, the movie star turtles were always my favorite. I just loved all the detail on them and the rubber skin and metal head. Loved that he had chrome and glowing eyes. Super Shredder, always loved that one. And we got some unrelated stuff back there. Turtle, Earthworm Jim and Usagi, Stone Protectors. So there's my turtle shelf. Not much, but it's all I really need. It's a big rabbit hole I don't want to get sucked into, so. Moving down is more vintage Power Rangers. Like I said, how attached I was to that Red Ranger, so here are my loose ones. I've got the whole team there in one of their sets of team poses. That's one thing I just love about those figures, is they're just so solid and durable and posable. I mean, there was nothing like that in '93 that was that posable, you know, and that size. They're just so big. The pink has a skirt from a knockoff Turbo Ranger, but I think it fits well. And the Tommy and Jason I've made resin cast weapons for. Just always wished that they had their Power Sword and Dragon Dagger. I haven't sold those yet, but I probably should do that soon. And back there we've got some more. There's that Turbo Ranger knockoff, some more monsters, Putty, Masked Rider. Yep, they made 8-inch Masked Riders that are in the exact same style as the Rangers. And In Space. So that's basically me. Season 2 monsters, or Zoo 2 monsters, and the team. And Tommy also has some gold foil stickers around his arms as the gold armbands. Just thought it looked better that way, and it's easy to remove, so there's that. Moving down, we've got my small Beast Wars collection. Beast Wars is one of the first Transformers I got back into as a teenager. I don't know if it was Toonami or Cartoon Network playing the last season, but that's when I got back into it, right before RID. Really loved the Fusors with the chrome, and both versions of Dinobot, Megatron, Tigerhawk. So, not much there, but that's all I really need. So, that's that big shelf. And the last one for this video, got the Batman 89 shelf. Now, I've got a lot more than this, but this is all I've got on display right now. So we've got the Kenner Batman, Wayne Manor. Probably one of the best play sets ever made. It's just, it folds out, it's got so many features. It's got a whole bat cave, it's got a garage door, you can pull the Batmobile through. Just the whole thing. I mean, it's so good they reused it 2 more times and repainted it. So this is the original one though. And up on top we got a Independence Day alien fighter. I just really love that design, and it's another, I think that's my actual childhood one I've held on to. That's the one thing, I liked it so much I managed to not lose any parts for it and still have it all, so just fit up there. And then here is the actual Batmobile. First time I got an 89 Batmobile was the Dark Knight collection. That's a very rare one. just because it's so accurate and cool looking, and it's not like the big oversized Batmissile version. Got some other random Batmobiles here and Candy Batmans. Some Toy Biz ones. That stuffed Batman there is a version of one I had as a kid. I think I got it the same day we went to go see Batman. I'm not sure, but I know I had it. It's doofy looking, but just remember having it. And we've got an 8-inch Power Rangers style Batman with a sword and a gun, because why not? It's basically using the in-space mold as far as I can tell because of the belt. Or maybe it's Masked Rider, I'm not sure, but it's just funny. And there's a McFarlane one just for good measure, and some other little Batmobiles. And the best figure Kenner ever made, the Penguin Commandos. I've probably got like 4 or 5 sets of these guys in another box. Just love them so much. And I actually had it as a kid. Yes, the kids actually wanted penguins that shot rockets. Moving down, we got another kind of a mix mash shelf here of just stuff I'm attached to and things I like. We've got Snailians there. It's another weird kind of dollar store cheapo line, but it's something I had as a kid for some reason. I can't remember who made them, but there were 3 of these Lunatics and then 3 of the Snailians. 3 or 4. Actually, I think it was 4. And they kind of have snap-on armor that comes off and a bunch of weird accessories. But I used to have them all, but I narrowed it down to just this one guy, which is the one I think I had as a kid. I'm not positive. Got some Episode 1 Darth Mauls. Just the hype from that figure when it was coming out. I just always been attached to it and loved that. So got some Kenner Alien and Predators. It's another line I had as a kid. I had ATAX back there. Gorilla Alien is the first one I had, so I've also got the KB silver repaint back there. He's silver and purple, I think. I had the Evac Fighter. I had quite a bit of that line. Moving over, we've got a small portion of my Power of the Force 2 collection. This is mostly just some of my favorites of the early line. We've got like the first Vader and Han and the mail away Han Solo there and the Land Speeder with the correct figures on it. I remember getting that Land Speeder for Christmas, Christmas '95, and I just loved it so much. I never had the vintage one, so it was the first time I'd experienced it. And my grandparents didn't really understand why I wanted it, thought it was kind of a waste of money, but I loved it. Moving up, we got some Sky Commanders. It's another weird line I had as a kid for some reason, probably because it was on clearance or something. Got a complete Mosquitor, Scareglow with a repro cape and the wrong scythe. And one of the few Motu figures I remember having as a kid, I had Dragstore and I think Battle Armor Skeletor. I just love Dragstore. Hopefully they get to him in Origins soon, because they seem to be moving on to other stuff, but hopefully they get to him. Some more Happy Meal type toys. We got GoBots from Wendy's, Commandrons, some Food Fighters, the infamous Mattel Battlestar Galactica Viper with the missile that made it so Boba Fett didn't get to have a missile. G1 Rodimus repaint, recent run in movie magenta colors. And some BraveStarr. So BraveStarr is something I didn't really watch as a kid, but I had the BraveStarr figure. I don't know if I don't think I knew who he was, but I liked the figure. And then as an adult, when I found out there was a Skull Speeder bike with a skull guy and a robot cowboy, I kind of just had to get it. Thunderstick is probably one of the coolest figures ever made, just in general. I mean, he's got a flip-up gun arm, he's chrome, he's a robot. So, a lot of fun stuff on that shelf. And moving down, we got a mix of different lines of Ghostbusters here. This is another one I used to have a lot more real Ghostbusters figures, but just kind of had to narrow it down. I've got a Firehouse back behind me, but a lot of the extra ghosts and things I used to have, I had to just narrow down. This is a vintage Ecto-1. Vintage Eye Popper Ghost. That's one I had as a kid. I love that thing. This Vintage, Peter. I think the other three are the recent Kenner reissues. And some Ghosts. And there's my Toys R Us rewards card. And then we move right over to Afterlife. I just saw that they showed the new Ecto-1 that they're basically re-releasing with some extra paint and different accessories. So I'm not sure if I'll get that. Obviously this one barely fits here, but we'll see. Love this Fright Features line, just fits great with Real Ghostbusters. Obviously I liked it because I ended up making some bootlegs of it and got their Spirit Ghost Farm or Dirt Farmer there. Spirit Egon and Gozer. And a bootleg large Ecto-1 Ghost. So I'm excited that the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is going to make more of these style of figures. Obviously I don't have room for them, but I'm still going to buy them. That's kind of how I end up in these problems, is buying stuff I don't have room for, but c'est la vie. And now we've got the infamous Kenner Star Wars collection. So in this one shelf, other than a couple figures that are in other vehicles, this is pretty much the whole set, other than a few of the last 17 figures and droids and Ewoks. Hopefully I can get in here with enough light to actually see what we've got going on, but I've got a custom removable helmet Vader there using the most recent Retro Collection one. Got last 17 Stormtrooper Luke, Stan Solo, Han Solo Stormtrooper, last 17 Death Star Gunner. I found at Savers for like $5. There's a couple other Stan Solo figures in here. I've got no problem with repros or customs with how expensive these things are. All the Bounty Hunters, my custom holiday special Chewie. Got a Stan Solo blue Snaggletooth there. Stan Solo Long Snoot. I love that one. That was a big omission from the original line. I don't have a Sensor Scope R2, so that's one of the big ones I'm missing. But back here we got a Stan Solo Yak Face, Slave Leia, Oola. And some original last 17 figures. We've got a General Lando, A-Wing pilot, droids, man, what's his name? I just had it. Is that Thal Jobin? No, that's not Thal Jobin. That is, well, it escaped me now, but love that guy. Just his design is just so cool looking. It's so 80s. Got the Spanish PVC droids figures that look more like the cartoon. Love those. Maybe it is Thal Jobin. I can't remember. Some of the other retro collection, like the Wicked, is a retro collection version. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Kenner Star Wars. All right, moving down, we got Air Raiders. So this is another weird line I had as a kid, probably because it was on clearance, because no one wanted it. Got a rare Aerosar figure here. It was one of two figures in a mail away. That was the only way you could get him. It's like the big bad guy. Really cool looking sculpt. And the big Man-O-War vehicle that I had as a kid, I got on Christmas. Didn't know what it was, didn't really matter. It was a big spaceship with little guys that looked cool, so I loved it. It's got so many features. Got the air missiles and removable weapon pods, a little drop car in the bottom, got prison cells, and a weird vacuum floating ball, because kids love floating balls. You just push a button and a little vacuum blows air out the top there and makes that little ball with holes in it float. Yeah, I somehow got one that had the ball still. It's lost a lot. But I just love the incredible detail on these figures. They must have sculpted those much larger to get the kind of detail they have, so just always love those. And down the last shelf here we got Trendmasters Independence Day. I know a lot of people probably don't like these, but I was just into that movie when it came out. I didn't like the alien design as much at the time, but looking back, these toys are just really fun. Trendmasters made some amazing stuff. And they all have little clear bendy aliens inside of them. So every one of these, even though they pretty much look the same, they're all different molds, I think, for the most part. We got a sparkly blue one back there, Pilot, chrome black, red, metallic blue, and gray. But their head crests are kind of all shaped different. So, and it wasn't until I decided to get all those that I realized how many there were. But just always loved those, and that they came with floppy drives. And we've got some other random stuff on the floor here, but we'll get to that next time. So, whew, I'm out of breath. That was a lot of talking. That is my 3 main toy shelves. I'm going to try to do more videos like this. I know people like watching video, and I used to make a lot of video. So, thanks for all your support over the last year. I wasn't sure how Patreon would go, and I'm still not really sure, but I'm going to try to do more stuff like this. So just let me know what you think, and see you next time. Thanks.